Your commentators, Clive Everton and Alan McManus.
So it's world number 2, Neil Robertson, versus world number 8, Ricky Walden, for a place in tomorrow evening's semi-final against Judd Trump. Bit short. As short as it was, that was still a good pot from Walden.
Yeah, it shows the confidence in Ricky Walden's game at the minute.
8.
Absolutely brimful of it.
Nine.
Last 3 matches here at this Rico Arena in Coventry have been whitewashes. I don't think we're in for that tonight,
14.
Clive, are we?
No, they're both playing too well, I think, for that.
Just about has enough angle in the black. Can back up for the red, you see. Bottom of the pack there. Nice to be low on it, disturb a few more.
$22. $23.
The opening of the bunch creates the possibility that Walden would need only this visit to win the opening frame.
Yes, I think he was expecting a different contact in the red that he screwed
29.
off there. Now, if he can get through the gap to the left, the red to left middle, he's fortunate. One to right middle's always an option. Yeah, don't think he can get through there. Maybe just having to bend it a touch. And this other red is no bargain either, because he's almost going to have to play it with a fraction of right hand side, which against the nap isn't easy. Oh, played very well though.
30.
Good recovery.
Brendan Moore's the referee. Used to drive a bus past the Crucible every day and ended up refereeing the world final there.
$35.
Neil Robertson's break-off shot was grossly under strength. It still needed a good opening pot from Ricky Walden.
36.
But he's got the bunch open. He's surmounted an early difficulty and This could well be a frame-winning contribution.
The shot Ricky's played there shows a sign of his confidence. Most players would have screwed on and
43.
off the cushion there, hoping for an easier red than this one.
Ricky
Wow.
Walden, 43.
Well, he's such a good middle pocket potter that he'll be disappointed to have missed that. And with all the reds open, that could have serious consequences. This could be a deadly counterbunch from Robertson.
I think what he's worried here, Neil, is the cannon on the green. If he pots this on the thick side, it looks a natural angle to me. He may just be playing this a little soft screw. Yeah, he's dragged it. And that made the pot all the more difficult, Clive, didn't it?
Yes. So the pendulum swings again.
You see the path of the cue ball here towards the green. I'm pretty sure that's what he was concerned about. Anyway, gone now.
1.
The pendulum swings back in Walden's favour. This is now a frame clinching chance for him.
Nice little cannon on the pink here. Will be what Ricky's playing. Yeah, decided to screw away from trouble.
8.
Still no problem though, especially with that red on the baulk line.
9. $40. $50. $21. 22.
The applause recognises
28.
that Walden is over the winning line in this opening
29.
frame.
$35. 36.
Plenty of confidence.
42.
And a fair old lick as well. Looking good, Clive, isn't he?
43.
Yes, very fluent. And if you can't be full of confidence after winning such an important ranking tournament as the International Championship in Chengdu, when can you feel confident?
48. 49. 56. 57.
He's one of those
60.
players, isn't he, Clive, on the circuit that he doesn't grumble about much, isn't overly opinionated about issues regarding the game. He just gets on with it, doesn't he?
65.
And unlike some, he really loves travelling.
$69.
As a snooker player, a top player, he's got opportunities to go to places that
$74.
he probably would never go to otherwise.
87.
Walden started the scoring with a break of 43. He finished it with a clearance of 87. He leads by a frame to nil.
A great start for Robertson with breaks of 47 and 87 to seal the opening frame. On to the second, it's Walden leading by 21 points with Robertson at the table.
1.
Neil Robertson's a Melbourne boy. Has a house in Cambridge now.
Three. 4.
That was a clever shot in actual fact. He obviously played top side of the blue, but made sure he got a bit more pace in it than what he actually played. Yellow was always on as a secondary option. Now how's his luck going into the reds? Deserves to be in one. He's played this really well.
6.
Now, if he decides to go back up the table, it's touch and go whether he can avoid the cannon, so he may be forced into playing for the black off this red. That's just what he's trying to weigh up. As I say, can he play it with screw and left hand side and avoid the cannon? On the red next to the cue ball, that is.
Seven.
Obviously felt he couldn't. Now this is going to be the key to the frame, I think, for Neil Robertson. This is, he'd probably pot this, I would say, about 8 out of 10.
$14.
Short of his intended position.
Yeah, it's tricky, this red to right centre, because the harder he plays it, the more likely he is to cannon into the pink, and that's the last thing he wants. So taking a risk here with a thin cutback.
Wasn't able to control his position perfectly, taking the cue ball through all those balls. He made light of that difficulty which the back posed. Knocked it in as it was over the pocket, but certainly
20.
could have been missed. But I think that's the hallmark of the top players. The half difficult shots, they hardly ever seem to miss one.
Yes, I was thinking the same thing, Clive. He potted the initial black, didn't he, along the cushion earlier. As I said at the time, that could have been missed. So that's 2 missable blacks he's managed with a minimum of fuss this break. As you say, that's what the top players are extremely good
31.
at.
Very high pot success rates so far, and judging by the form they're in, I think those sort of figures are likely to be maintained.
$36. $37.
Yeah, so he's got, well, more than one good shot to play, but this could be the key. This is not easy to drop on a red. He's got a choice of 3 that he can land on. Probably play it on the hard side. He can finish on the one virtually touching the black, and that looks absolutely inch perfect.
42. $43. $50. $51.
Slightly overscrewed, so this is a rest shot. Frame ball, in that it would leave Walden needing a snooker.
Thank you. 59.
Walden's now resigned to the score being 1-all.
$64.
Early days, but pot success rates of
Neil Robertson,
95 and
64.
96%. Robertson leaves the table, 43 in front, with only 35 on. That's 2 4-point snookers to tie. Unless a free ball comes into the equation.
Thanks.
It's effectively a big ball, this red. There's scarcely any room round it.
Yes, but it's worth playing on, isn't it, just for a couple of shots, Ricky Walden, while the colours as they are. Wouldn't expect him to be able to gain a free ball, but as I say, it's just worth playing on. You just never know. Trying to put this red somewhere in behind the black. Again, as before, as Clive mentioned, this one similarly is quite a big target. But he's asking the question. That's all you can do of Neil Robertson.
Well, as I said, Walden may have been resigned to losing the frame, but when Robertson failed to pot the last red, Walden was suddenly in the position of having everything to gain and nothing to lose by playing on. They've got to be really good snookers to extract any penalty points.
One.
So that thin snick to middle removes the last vestige of doubt about the outcome of this frame.
Blue ball. Six. Neil Robertson, 6, and the frame.
Robertson had an important 64 break in the middle of that frame. He's levelled the match at 1-1.
It's all square here at the Ricoh Arena as we move into frame 3 with Robertson at the table.
In some ways, Clive, it's the bane of a snooker player's life, those colours up there. You play a safety, you think there's only 3 of them. It's 6 feet wide and you always hit one of them. What's going on?
Well, you don't, Alan.
No, I do.
No, but it does make a huge difference if you cannon one of those ball colours smack on the nose, because of course it stops the cue ball dead.
Seven.
A little bit of a kick that time. Took about 6 inches of pace out the cue ball.
14. $50. $20.
This is not absolutely perfect. Does he, in potting this red, come round the black, or does he cannon the black? Or does he play something different?
Yes, I think it is a natural, isn't it, to go round the back of the black. He's had 2 or 3 good looks at it. What he will be doing is playing it with he's deciding against it. Coming back for the pink, I reckon. The same pocket. Just doesn't want to flirt with that other red on the right hand side too much. Managed to just about hold it.
21. $27.
Pink spot occupied, so it's on the highest available, in this case the green.
28. $35. 36.
He sorted that out nicely there, didn't he, going into the pack? In actual fact, dropping that red in the middle, he would have tried to land straight in the blue, because either side of it was good. Just the smallest of angles. Play for the one in bulk. Needs a bounce here though. Just about got it.
41.
It's amazing how long it took the snooker world to think of extensions for cues or for rests. But no more half butts with crusty 50-year-old tips.
Yes, the furniture, as we call it, Clive, isn't it?
42.
Walden hoping that Robertson's going to break down.
And well, having somewhat gone the scenic route the last
44.
few shots, he's now back in absolute prime position.
I'll be surprised if Robertson doesn't win the frame at this visit.
$45. $52. $53.
Heavy contact,
60.
and because the cue ball has finished so close to the cushion, he hasn't got unrestricted scope to use any spin that he might need.
$61.
Managed though by striking downwards to stun the red in.
$68. $69.
It's a top tournament and a top class venue with two
76.
top class players, and it's also a top standard, isn't it?
77.
This is fabulous stuff from both players.
$84. $85. $92. $93.
Robertson's third century of the day.
$101.
His 103 centuries last season almost doubled
107.
the previous record for a season.
109. $112. $116. $121. Nice. 127.
Great stuff. Great stuff.
Neil Robertson.
A total clearance of 134 puts Neil Robertson 2-1 ahead.
Ricky Walden is behind 2-1 to Neil Robertson after a fantastic 134 break from the Aussie in the third frame. We rejoin the action in the fourth frame, the final one before the mid-session interval. Robertson is at the table, trailing by 37 points.
One.
Green looks best to get into the bunch with the cue ball.
Four.
Good shot, deserved to be in something. Not the best, but far from the worst either. Expect him to handle this red okay. Nothing to do with the white, so he's
Five.
giving himself a decent chance now. This is a big shot. Will he play the split in the cluster of reds? No. Making sure of the black.
$12.
The frame before the interval's always big, Clive, isn't it? But you get a sense that this one even more so. That 37-point lead that Ricky Walden had before Neil came to the table doesn't count for much right now, especially if he gets top side of the blue here.
13.
Not this time.
Yes, this is the frame which makes the difference between 3-1 to Robertson and 2-all at the mid-session interval.
$18. $19.
Now, screw into the back of the reds. He'll be looking for, he may be playing this with a bit of reverse side as well and screwing off the side cushion. That's what he's played. Again, deserves to be in one. He has a long one. Is there a plant?
26.
No, not the bottom two.
Yeah, nothing doing. Almost played that too well there, Neil Robertson. So much action out the cue ball. Beautiful.
27.
Except for leaving the cue ball closer to the side cushion than he would wish.
Yes, I think evidence that he put so much into the pot, didn't he? He just lost the white. This will test any player, this yellow. Oh, brilliant again. Tell you what, that's the best shot he's played in the match so far.
It was the only way from there that he could get on the back red.
29. $30. $37.
A precision cannon preferred to a huge hit there.
Yes, he can't play for the black off this though, and with the awkward bridging, it's not easy to drop nicely on pink or blue. Oh, he played that well. That's where he'd have put the cue ball with his hand if he had that option. Absolutely perfect. Can just drop on the two together. Decided on the loose one. But a 7-point advantage.
44.
Just 3 reds. With high value colours. We'll see him get that 3-1 interval lead.
45.
Walden led 37-0 in this frame, but Mr. Red to a far ball pocket.
Yeah, just another kick there. That's
52.
the last 2 shots he's had a bad contact. Took a little bit of pace out the cue ball, so he should be all right though. Can avoid the cannon on the pink. A little soft screw top side of the blue again.
53.
Oh dear,
Neil
oh
Robertson.
dear.
53.
You can only explain that by a lapse of concentration.
Yes, I detected a kick though on the blue once again there, so that was 3 out of 4 shots. I think Neil Robertson had a bad contact.
Ah, well, it wasn't pilot error, it was a kick.
Yes, I
1.
think so, Clive. I just detected the blue leave the bed of the table as he was trying to pot it there. Anyway, this is big now, isn't it, for Ricky Walden, just to establish himself back in this match. Under normal circumstances, this is a gimme clearance, but it's also a must clearance.
7. Nine.
The kick on the blue looks like making the difference between 3-1 to Robertson and 2-all.
$12. 16.
Just blue and pink needed.
Yes, I don't think he can hold for the pink to corner, so he's got one more good shot he has to play here. Difficult to tell. Yeah, decided to just use the natural angle
21.
and play for the pink in the middle.
This for 2-all then.
27.
Safely in.
Walden.
It's 2-all at the mid-session interval.
We left the action at the mid-session interval. It was finally balanced at 2 frames apiece. Robertson will think he should have taken the 4th frame just before the interval, but a mistake on the blue cost him the frame. We're going to rejoin the action in frame 5. It's Robertson at the table, trailing by 45 points. Your commentators for this one, Clive Everton and Alan McManus.
That's made a pretty big difference. Would have been a much easier shot from the D than it is from the jaws of the corner pocket.
Yes, his heart skipped a beat there, Ricky. I think when he hit that, he thought he was in off. The fact that it's landed in the jaws, giving Neil more than a few troubles here. Now just pushing this red back up the table. He has to get a good white here. Needs to get within an inch or so of this black cushion with a cue ball. The last thing he needs is a kick in this shot. Always knew he was going to leave a tempter, didn't he, Clive? But at least if Ricky decides to be aggressive, the Reds are set fair for a counter clearance.
Yes, the other point is that one good shot on his initial red and Walden would surely clinch the frame. Cue ball just off the cushion. It's not as if it's tight to it.
Oh, that's magic.
One.
Surely Walden is going to go into a 3-2 lead here.
6.
Robertson's been shut out of this frame.
Good choice there, forgetting about
7.
the blue and going up for bulk colour. Didn't want to flirt with that red. 52 the lead. Yellow 54. Have to think just 2 more red colours. He'll be back in front.
9.
Well, Not the best shot he's ever played. With stun and check side.
All about avoiding the green here when potting the blue. Yeah, well done. Deserves to win the frame.
$15. $16. $23. $24.
Well, I think everyone can see how Walden won China's international championship last week. He saw off
27.
Mark Allen 4-0 this afternoon.
28.
And he's built up a 3-2 lead over Neil Robertson in this group final.
$33. $34. $41. $42. $47. $49. $52. $56. $61.
Robertson has been kept potless in this frame, in which Walden opened the scoring with 45
Ricky Walden.
before clinching it with that 61. Ricky Walden leads Neil Robertson by 3 frames to 2.
Welcome back. Ricky Walden has regained the lead here at the Ricoh Arena. As we join the action in frame 6 of this best of 11, there's no score and Walden is at the table.
One.
Walden failed to one middle. Robertson successful to the other.
Oh, that was loose. Unforced error. Neil Robertson should never have been flirting
6.
with the edge of the pack of reds there. You see plenty of room to play down. Just getting into the cue ball a tad too much. This now becomes tricky, this red.
7.
But that illustrates what I was saying a little earlier about the top players being so consistent on the half difficult shots.
Yeah, perfect example of that, Clive.
Nine. Ten.
The pink slightly detached from the bunch, so might play the cannon directly onto a red.
$15.
Yeah, he's unfortunate. Played that very well. And bridging over this initial red, I don't think he can play this and get through for the black. They just look too close together for me. There you see it. Brendan Moore, referee, will be keeping his eye on this one.
Well, there are so many elements of difficulty to this shot. One of which is that the cue ball is so tight to the obstructing red, and the cue really has to be elevated.
Foul. Neil Robertson,
Well,
15. Ricky Walden, 4.
Well, that was push shot of the year.
Yeah, they're both having a bit of a giggle about that. I think he hit the cue ball about 4 times there. Never mind twice. I suppose it was the lesser of two evils. If it was going to play a bad shot or a foul, it was better too hard than too soft. At least he's not really left Ricky Walden anything to go at.
Long straightish red. Robertson considered it. Long red possibility for Walden, the difference being that Walden can get his bridge hand on the bed of the table.
Yes, he didn't really strike it with any great authority, did he? Even if he'd potted it, it wouldn't have been perfect on the black.
One.
Nice cluster of reds to go into this. This is loosely packed. You'd expect to finish in one. That's fine.
Eight. Nine.
Another little cannon, the two reds together. Left hand side of them. Perfect.
16.
Yeah, both reds obviously touching. Sometimes in that situation it's actually difficult to see which one of them will pass. Sure, one of them does. Yeah, there you see touching ball. They're both set for left and right jaw. Yeah, this one looks good to me, the bottom one. No problem.
Thanks. 17. $24. $25. $31. $32. Yeah. 39.
Yes, that last black was a slide kick which didn't make any difference to the outcome of the shot.
$40. $46.
Just a red and a colour needed to leave Walden needing a snooker.
47.
Although Robertson will want to make this frame a clean kill.
53. 54. 59.
3-2 down. Robertson knew that it was important for him to respond, and he's done so with this frame clinching break.
Neil Robertson, 59, and the frame.
A 59 break, which enables Robertson to equalise at 3-all.
It's all square again in this Group 3 final. Neil Robertson levelling the match at 3-all. In the 7th, the tension really began to show as it all came down to the black. That attempted double and the foul costing Walden the frame. Robertson is now only 2 frames away from the semi-final. On to frame 8, Walden to break.
Thank you, frame 8. Ricky Walden to break.
The top players are so good, and Neil Robertson in particular at putting adversity to the back of the mind. That's now what Ricky Walden has to do.
But Walden's break-off shot is very short. And there's a red cuttable to right middle.
One.
Two hours of engrossing entertainment. We've had breaks, we've had tactical duels, we've had drama.
Three. Four.
Well, Robertson 100%
11.
success rate with rest shots, not only in this match, but this afternoon. He was 10 out of 10.
Twelve.
Wow, most unlike him.
12.
Just a basic black off the spot. Easy red starter, but the black has disappeared into not the most accessible position.
think this is just what Ricky needed. A decent chance so soon after the disappointment of the in-off 5 minutes or so ago. In-off that final black, of course, in frame 7. Just needs to get in, get his arm going again, just to re-establish the confidence that he undoubtedly has inside him.
7.
Could have done with another couple of rolls on the cue ball.
Do you think, Clive, there's any possibility that fatigue could be a factor for Ricky Walden? I've been looking at him the last few frames. He's shown signs of tiredness, you know, heavy eyes. That's the nature of it when you come back so soon from China.
Could well be the case, Alan. He had a hard tournament. He's had a long flight. He's had a time change. And after his match this afternoon, he did say he was going to take a nap of about half an hour.
Ricky Walden, 13.
Well onto the near jaw. His middle pocket has not been totally reliable in the last few frames.
Yeah, it's just those pictures of Ricky back in his chair there, as I say. Just a little bit of evidence of fatigue setting in.
Robertson, of course, lost earlier in China's International Championship.
6.
And has therefore been back in this country for a few days more.
Seven.
Yes, Neil, on the other hand, as we've seen there, looks bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, up for the job.
$14. 15. 21. 22.
Yeah, he's just got half an eye here, Neil Robertson, on these three reds, because he's going to have to disturb them if he's going to win the frame at this visit. Lead is 28.
29. 30.
Now, is he high enough on this black to disturb them this time? Just about. Worth the risk, I think. Fair chance, obviously, of still being on the red to left middle. No, sir. Don't think he's on anything here. Maybe
37.
get through the gap to the one to the left middle, but Oh, it's doubtful. Just having a good look at it. Yeah, in fact, I think he's looking at the top one of the two together, whether that will pass to the middle. Yeah, the trouble is the red in bulk's not an option because that's in his favour, obviously. Trying to put
Neil
another
Robertson,
one safe.
37.
To lead by 36. In the frame he wants to win to go up 2 up with 3 to play. Still no joy with that middle pocket. And it was a tough one.
One.
Can't blame him in taking the red on, trying to be the aggressor. Trouble is, the 3 dolly reds that he's left will be more than enough
6.
for his opponent to open up a 2-frame gap for the first time in this match.
Seven. $14.
There you see the difference, just red colour.
15.
Should suffice.
$21. 22.
It was 2 snookers even before that.
$22 in the frame. Neil Robertson.
Neil Robertson was 3-2 down, but a run of 3 straight frames puts him 5-3 up. 2 up with 3 to play.
Neil Robertson is on the verge of a semi-final place at the 2014 Dafabet Champion of Champions. It's getting tense in the 9th frame. They've been playing for just under 30 minutes when we join the action. The score is even at 26 points apiece, with Walden at the table.
The frame time goes beyond the half-hour mark. There's been some excellent safety play in the last quarter of an hour or so.
Can you be quiet, please, you two? Thanks.
course, that leads me on to asking you, what's the lowest frame score in the history of the game in one frame?
All balls potted. I'm pretty sure that a frame was won with the winner scoring only 38. I'm not absolutely sure about that, though. I'll need notice of that question in future, Alan. What a great way to resolve that apparent impasse.
Yeah, good pot. Tried to screw back about 18 inches. Just didn't quite get a hold of it. No other option really than to just tickle in behind the pink.
Foul. Thank you. Foul.
Ricky
Walden,
has
1.
called a foul on
Neil
himself
Robertson,
there.
6. Free ball.
I think it was a double
You
hit.
call a foul, I'm assuming double hit. Yeah.
Well, playing very slowly at short range can sometimes happen, but what a load of trouble he's landed himself in here. Robertson has put him in again.
Foul and a miss. Neil Robertson, 4. Okay. Neil.
Self-inflicted this, I repeat.
Foul and a miss. Neil Robertson, 4. Okay, Neil.
Expect him to make contact this time. I think the brown's just putting him off the shot a tad, and he's going on the narrow side. Surely he's not found the gap.
Foul and a miss. Neil Robertson, 4.
Cue ball and red very close together, hence Robertson contemplating the elevated bridge before opting to have the cue ball replaced. So again,
Yep.
what harm can Robertson come to if he keeps having the cue ball replaced there for his opponent?
He's got something this time.
That little passage of play has seen Walden fall 17 points behind. No attempt at the pot. And this time it's Robertson who snookered, albeit with an easier escape than Walden had.
Well, as safety shots go, that's up there with anything we've seen this evening. It's not going to give him reward as far as a frame winning chance, I wouldn't think, but just the execution of it was top class.
93% of Robertson's safeties have been good enough to prevent Walden potting a ball.
One. Green ball. Four.
I think it's fair to say that Robertson has been grinding his way towards victory in this frame. Nothing spectacular. Walden has been doing his best to hang on.
Five.
Yeah, deciding to play for the black in the middle, give that pot every chance of going in. Now, he's got a nice angle on the black. Wouldn't expect him to miss this. And a dolly red along the cushion would put him just about past the winning post and into tomorrow's semi-finals.
12.
This to go 30 in front with only 27 on the table.
13.
Walden led 3-2, but at 3-all he went in off the last black of the 7th frame, and that turned out to be a pivotal moment.
Neil Robertson, 30.
Walden is fighting it out to the last. Tired as he is, but it's going to be to no avail. He's not really been in contention in either this frame or the one previously.
Neil Robertson, 2.
He now needs 2 snookers.
This is some effort.
Robertson gives the table an appreciative tap.
Yeah, brilliant shot from Ricky Walden. Just gives him a glimmer of hope still in this match. The one thing that won't be happening here is the white won't be racing round the table, Clive, will it?
No, and because it's the snooker's required stage, the misrule is not in operation. And in any event, what a hit. Needed to calculate the amount of side spin very precisely. Right hand side, widen the angle to make the necessary contact.
Yeah, I think his race is run now, Ricky Walden.
Three.
Walden played some fine snooker this afternoon in beating Mark Allen 4-0. And some more
7.
in taking a 3-2 lead this evening.
Neil Robertson, 7.
But in the latter frames, he didn't really have much left. And it's Neil Robertson who goes through the winner by 6 frames to 3.
A great win for Neil Robertson, 6 frames to 3 over Ricky Walden as he progresses to the semi-finals. Robertson was just the stronger when the frames get close. Walden, on the other hand, did have his chances with 2 century breaks, but he didn't take advantage when the Aussie let his guard down.